What's going on, guys? So, I'm just doing another update. I also kind of wanted to go over a different attack strategy, and also kind of just want to review some Clan War stuff. So, since the last one, scatter shots are maxed. I got 2 of my Infernos here going to max. I got I got super drunk and I spent an egregious amount of money, like $250, uh, on gems. So, between that, getting all of my storages done, and Eagles done, Town Hall weapons done, obviously scatter shots, RC level 15. Yeah, I can't be trusted with money when I've been drinking. Yeah. Oh, look at that. But I kind of just wanted to go over a strategy that I didn't really think was good. You know, being an old school Clash player, when Town Hall 13 got released, the lightning spell had a rework, so I don't know exactly, as far as my viewer base goes, if anyone remembers, because the lightning spell is the first spell you unlock. For those of you who have played long enough, you remember the lightning spell actually used to be 2 housing space, but they dropped it down to 1 housing space. When they did that, lightning spells just became broken. They are so good. Still, even after being nerfed. Like, when the rework happened, like, every spell was zap something, zap quake something, because everyone was just using lightning spells because they were just so good. And, then they got nerfed, and then they were still good after they got nerfed. But I kind of just wanted to show a strategy. So, I think it was my clan leader, actually, that, like, I saw him using this attack. I saw him using this attack. It's lightning spells and dragons with balloons. I haven't seen anyone using dragon riders. I'm gonna try it. The attack is called flybrid. I remember when it came out. It seemed pretty good. I never really used it because I was primarily a ground attacker. Back then I was doing regular hybrid queen charge, hogs and miners. But I like 8 lightning spells, a rage and a freeze. That's my preferred method. I usually go, so I was doing like 10 drags, a baby drag, 14 loons, and then clan castle, you can either take a rage or you can take a freeze and another lightning spell. The other lightning spell, so you have 9. So 3 lightning spells takes out a max air defense. 2 lightning spells take out a sweeper. So when I'm doing this strategy, I'm looking at a couple of things. So we're gonna go into an attack just to try this out. So, and actually, you can use either the minion prince or the king for this. I honestly, for funneling, prefer the king. If it's a base that you really don't need to funnel too much, I actually need to switch my equipment. If it's a base you don't need to funnel too much, then you could just, like, use a dragon to funnel. And then you can take and put your minion prince with the main army and the warden. So a couple things I need to do. So first thing is hero equipment. I have Queen Charge hero equipment because I was doing hybrid. So I like Giant Arrow, and I like the Magic Mirror. One thing I will always do with the Queen is I will always bring something to make her invisible. The reason for that is single target infernos. Now, with something like the Giant Arrow, you're proccing her ability early anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But I just, I mean, you can use Healer Puppet here. There's absolutely no problem with bringing the Healer Puppet. With the King, I do have Spiky Ball. I need to upgrade it, but Earthquake Boots and Giant Gauntlet, they do fine. Warden, I need to upgrade my Healing Tome, although you don't really need it with this strategy because everything is so tanky. And RC, the meta, the Electro Boots and the Rocket Spear. Absolutely no going wrong with that. CC you can bring with this. You can bring an Electro Drag and some loons in the CC. You can bring Yetis if you plan on Yeti blimping something. You can bring 9 loons. Doesn't really matter because your CC is just usually going to be used to take out a portion of the base, be it the Town Hall or whatnot. So just gonna donate as much as I can. I don't have any more gems left, and I don't feel like spending more money. So let's go into this. I'm good here. So let's find a base that I want to hit. I'm trying to farm right now. Even though all of my builders are occupied, I would like to get some more gold because I still have another Inferno. So this is a good base here. So first thing I'm looking for, where are the air defenses? Where are the sweepers? So we got a sweeper here. Where's the other sweeper? The other sweeper's here. So there's kind of a blind spot up in this corner that I can utilize. But because the sweeper is so close to this air defense, we're just going to hit that. And then since I'm going to be attacking from this side, I want to hit the air defense that is furthest away. And damage this one. The reason for that is you don't want your whole army to kind of die and then end on an air defense. So, I don't know if I can actually get that giant arrow over. Let's see. So I got one of them. So King Dog, I'm going to turn my volume down on this so you can actually hear it. The baby drag here. Warden on air. And we kind of just want to get some pathing. So we have kind of a funnel, but what we're going to do now, deploy the loons, Warden, Dragons, Dragon Riders, Stone Slammer, Royal Champion on the Scatter. We're going to hit that Rocket Spear ability here. Now, my army is kind of walking. We're going to drop a Freeze and a Rage over here. We're going to hit that Warden ability nice and early so that Dragon Rider can get the Town Hall. This is a little bit sloppy, but it's difficult to teach while you're in the moment. But, I mean, it's going to be a respectable 2-star. Unfortunately, my heroes didn't get the value that I wanted, and the Queen did not go down. Still goes down. We still got a scatter shot. Now, my rule of thumb as far as attacking goes is if it's above 70%, it's respectable, 80% is decent, 90% is good, and obviously a 3-star is perfect. So if I get below a 70% 2-star, I consider that to be a failed attack, and that's the standard that I hold myself to. So here we're probably going to get 90. And we're going to rewatch this attack and see some of the mistakes I made here. I already have a couple in mind. So 92. Not bad. Good loot. So let's watch that replay. Okay. So obviously I was explaining this, as I was doing it. So if they put an air defense super close to a sweeper, might as well grab it. Because dragons and dragon riders are so tanky, scatter shots aren't really a huge threat. It's the air defenses and the sweepers. The sweepers slow your army down. Dragons and dragon riders are already slow. So, and I kind of went into this just instinctually attacking. I didn't it's not like war. With war, you gotta plan your attack out. You have that opportunity to sit there, observe the base, and look at it on battle day. With, multiplayer, you kind of just go in and you make your attack. You only have 30 seconds to plan it out or skip. So it's a little different. But, and again, this is my first time ever doing this version of the attack. I usually just go with dragons, and I almost always 3-star. Even max bases. Of course, I haven't done a lot of dragons at Town Hall 13, but I've also only been Town Hall 13 for a couple of days. It's been like 2 or 3 days. I did 3-star with that strategy in the very first war of this Clan War League that we're in right now. But, it's an attack that funny enough, I didn't think was very good until I saw it in action. And I'm like, why is he doing that? That doesn't look good at all. And then I tried it. And I'm just like, holy shit. This is like the most easy 3-star strategy out there. And it really is. The only complaint that I have about it is that, you don't have enough rages. But if you get enough value with your lightning spells, you don't really need all that. And again, I'm attacking without CC. If I had an Electro Dragon in the CC here, I might have actually gotten this base. Despite the fact that my heroes died too early and I didn't get, what I wanted out of it. But let's take a look at it. Because I'm all for pointing out my mistakes. So, obviously, second air defense goes down, and I weaken this air defense and damage the scatter shot. So, one thing you need to know about lightning spells is if 2 buildings are within 3 tiles, 3 tiles of one another, your lightning spell can hit both. Obviously, these are right next to each other. But, for instance, I don't know, what's a good example on this base? All this stuff is so close together. You got 1 tile of space between the air defense and the wizard tower. But, I mean, you get the picture. If it's within 3 tiles, you can hit it. So, if I dropped a bunch of lightning spells on this mortar here, it would damage both of the archer towers because it is only a 2x2 space, I believe. Or is it 3x3? Either way, if I dropped all my lightnings here, these archer towers would get damaged So let's continue on with this. So that was kind of the plan there. And I was explaining this attack as I was doing it. So obviously my timing is going to be a little off. So Warden distracting the king with a scatter shot on him as well. And both the cannon and the archer tower. Quite a bit of damage on the king. And I didn't really pay attention. I was more focused on getting the value with the queen than using my king. And he actually dies to the enemy Grand Warden. So queen also dies super early. So this is a couple things that you really don't want to happen. And this is also one of the reasons that I use the magic mirror, because of stuff like that. If I had the magic mirror instead of the healer puppets, that royal champion would have died and my queen would still be alive. If you have the opportunity to keep a hero alive during an attack, the entirety of an attack, you should do it. So that's a mistake. And, you know, I spend 5 or 6 hours a day playing this game. And a lot of that time is doing multiplayer battles. You know, if there's war, I do war attacks. I design bases from time to time. But a lot of it is just me going back into these replays and looking at it. And obviously, I've played the game competitively. You know, my muscle memory might be rusty. I still know what to look for. This town hall specifically is my bread and butter. So, you know, knowing what to look for is one of those things. And you got to know how to point out your mistakes. I have absolutely no qualms about that because, you know, I know that I'm a competent attacker. I wasn't always like that. It took a lot of practice and it took things for me to click. And Town Hall 13 is when things clicked for me. I was a Town Hall 12 that could not 3-star for a max Town Hall 12 for the life of me, like 7 years ago. All right, Town Hall 13 came out, Hybrid came out, all of a sudden, I could 3-star max bases. And I could do it consistently, nonetheless. You know, obviously, I don't 3-star every time. Nobody does. But I was competent enough to where if I didn't 3-star, I still got a very high percentage 2-star. And it just kind of takes something clicking, and then you do it enough, you get that muscle memory, and you start to really look at why the attack works, why the attack failed. And, you know, I can sit here and I can teach you the basics of attacking all day, but you're really not going to get any better until you just do it through trial and error. That's how I am with everything that I do. All right, I play Magic the Gathering. I lost so many games before, you know, I got to be as good as I am at the game now. I understand the game like a science, right? But it took that error. It took those losses to drill into me, you can't do this because this, right? So letting your heroes die early, not very good. And, you know, again, I wasn't paying complete attention because I was trying to explain things whilst doing the attack. So let's talk about the reason for this baby dragon. It's a little thing called funneling. So what I don't want to happen is when I deploy my army down here, I don't want them to go up, get distracted by the warden, and then wrap around these buildings, which it is a possibility. I want them to go into the town hall, which still doesn't happen because I didn't funnel wide enough. And the initial plan was actually going to be to attack from this side here. But the troops did not path, the heroes did not path the way I wanted them to path. And that's entirely my fault. I'm rusty as far as like the specifics of hero pathing go. But the whole point of the baby drag is just to clear these buildings out so that my heroes don't wrap around the outside of the base. Now, if I was attacking this base in war, I would not be using a stone slammer. The reason I'm using a stone slammer is because I don't have CC. So the stone slammer is literally just a super-powered balloon to go with my attack. Okay. So obviously the warden is going to get on him. I only really need the one building, but he does get the second one. Now, one thing I probably could have done here, looking in hindsight, is I could have put a dragon down here before I started my main attack. That would have kept the dragons tight into this compartment and eventually into this compartment. Now, both of these buildings are damaged. They would have gone down rather quickly. My main worry is the Infernos. Single target Infernos can be the bane of this attack's existence. And the reason for that is, a lot of the times, if you're not paying attention, like I wasn't, all of your balloons die. Now there's nothing to tank for the dragons, and in this case, the dragon riders. So you only have like 10 dragons. 2 singles, if they lock onto a dragon each, well, you're immediately down. And plus, that scatter shot and the air defense here, they're not going to, go down without a fight. You're going to get some hits in on some of your other dragons. So by the time you get to the town hall, and mind you, the eagle is also raining down on you, you've lost like half your army. So I probably could have used, and obviously if I had CC, I would have dropped the freeze, getting the eagle, the single, and the town hall. But that's not how it went down. So let's continue. So the way that I deploy this attack is the same every single time. You deploy your balloons in a line so that they're not all targeting one building, because splash damage, your multi-infernos, your scatter shots, your wizard towers, if every single troop you have is in one clump, they're going to have a field day with that. Okay? So you want to deploy everything in a line so, everything kind of, the attack kind of funnels itself in a way. It's a little difficult to explain, but you don't want to deploy everything on one building, because then you're only hitting one building at a time, and it's going from here to here to here to here, and ultimately the attack doesn't go through as quickly. Hammer, Royal Champion. I was going for the scatter shot, but she got distracted by the Grand Warden. I should have used my Warden ability here. I did not. And the reason for that is just all of these defenses. And mind you, currently all my stuff is still alive. For the most part. Wounds are still tanking, and this is the split that I didn't want. So there's a single Inferno that's about to die, but a lot of my army is just going down this way, and I don't want them down that way. That's why putting those dragons down earlier would have helped. It would have kept everything going up toward the town hall a little bit more. Maybe a couple dragons would have spread out. But now I think I activated the rocket spear. Yep. I hit a tornado trap. I hit some giant bombs. And I really, at this point, I'm like, okay, well, somehow most of my army is dead, and I didn't really see it in real time. But I had to hit my Warden ability to make sure I got that town hall down. And that's another thing. When I see people 1-star, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, why did you not get the town hall? Okay. There's attacking, being a competent attacker, but even if you're a good attacker, quote unquote, good attacker, okay, one thing that a lot of players struggle with is what's called recovery. Recovering your attacks after something goes wrong. Okay, perfect example of that here. I have another video going over that with hybrid. The video is a couple years old. Okay, if something fails, you need to be able to adjust your strategy on the fly. If you know you can't get 3 stars because your queen charge, your queen fucking died, you need a plan to at least get 2 stars. Okay? It might still be a failed attack, but if you're in war, a 2-star is always going to be better than a 1-star in any circumstance. But if you can save that attack, maybe it's not a 3-star, but if you get, 75, 80%, if you do well, in this case, I got 90% despite the fact that most of my army died. It's a saved attack. It's not a great attack, but you were able to save it so that you didn't cost the clan with a 1-star. Right? So hitting my warden here was just so that this dragon rider didn't die to the queen and could get the town hall. The eagle's almost down. Okay, so the dragon rider's died. Got a couple of balloons left. Obviously, the royal champion's dead. And I've got a few dragons left. I got most of my dragons left. But I don't have enough to get this scatter shot and the inferno down. And mind you, the royal champion is still alive. And it's probably going to kill a couple of my dragons. Plus these 2 expos. So I know here I'm just picking up percent. And that's the idea. That should be your idea in war. Get that 2-star, pick up percent, because when the war is super close, percent matters. That's why I say, if you're going to get a 2-star, don't let it be a 55% 2-star. I say that even though I got a 55% 2-star in the last war. And in my last video, I went over mistakes that I made. So, picking up percent. And I did time fail here. I probably, just because of the gold storage, probably would have died to the Expo and the Inferno, but still. So anyway, so wait, how much time? An hour? Okay. So I don't have any gems. So we're gonna do a little progress update while we wait on the 6 builder. So we go over to the Bob control. I'm on the last level. I just got to get the 45 hero levels. Going to level 17 with the battle copter. And level 17 with the battle machine as well. I just used my last rune of builder elixir. I probably have 2 hero levels on this. It's starting to get a little pricey, but at the end of the day, I think it's, it's worth it. I also do have these star bonus potion things here, builder star jar. After I get the 6 builder is probably when I'm going to start unrushing the builder base. I do actually enjoy playing builder base. It is a lot of fun. When I picked this account back up a few months ago, I think I was at like 1,600 trophies. I pushed up to 26, almost 2,700. And on my other account, I was like 4,200 or something like that. So hopefully I can get back up there, because I believe that puts me in like Platinum 2, but alright, Dragon Rider's done. Let's see if I do want the rage. We'll go with E-Dragon, some loons. Alright, let's see if we can get this right. So, I don't like bases like this, because without a blimp at least, that's a high damage core. And also the loot's kind of bad. Alright, this one's decent. This one's decent. 2 multis and a single. Air defenses. Sweepers. So I probably want to attack from 3 o'clock. So we're going to hit here. Damage the expo. Same deal here. Get the mortar in. And probably damage the multi-inferno. King here. Put the king here. Both air defenses go down here. I'm going to go ahead and get some units down with a baby drive. Focus on the king. Now, I'm not horribly worried about the king dying. I got the value that I wanted out of it. Now, if this baby drive can get these buildings down. So I now have very, very good tapping here. So we're going to do this. Not too concerned about the tornado. That multi is going to go down. Hopefully. We are finding a lot of air bombs. I still have the RC's ability. I'm going to wait till she gets to the scatter shot to use it. Use it here. Get the scatter shot. And like that, this is a 3-star. So I have a good amount of my dragons left. Most of my... Actually, did I lose any? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... No, I didn't. I didn't lose a single dragon. And that's usually, when I attack, that's usually what it looks like. I don't know how I feel about the Dragon Riders. They seem okay. I mean, I probably wouldn't have gotten the Town Hall as solidly as I did if I wasn't using them, but yeah, I mean, you know, let's look at that attack. Let's look at why it succeeded. Okay, we looked at a failed attack. And obviously my planning should be pretty sound. So sweepers are a detriment to this army. If your troops are getting blown back whilst being damaged and they're not doing anything, it's obviously not good. So getting rid of the back end air defenses is most important, and obviously if you can deal with an air defense, you know, an extra air defense, or in this case I got both of them with my queen, and damaging the Inferno. So usually if it's, you know, if it was the type of base where this sweepers were facing in opposite directions, I would have gotten the sweeper with my last 2. So hold on, let's get this air defense down here. So I have 2 left. That can destroy a sweeper, but I'm attacking from the back end. Well, not really, because I attacked from down here. But this sweeper isn't really that detrimental, because it's going to push my army into the path that I want to go anyway. It's just going to be a slight annoyance. If I was attacking from this area, pushing in toward the town hall, then this would be a detriment. But if I'm just kind of wrapping my army around like this, and the sweeper wants to push my army into that, that's fine. Doesn't really hurt me at all. The single target inferno is kind of annoying. But, you know, it is what it is. So, I put a little damage on it. The intention of putting the king here, air defense is exposed. I want to try and get that air defense. I do notice that my queen, if she targets the Dark Elixir drill, I have potential to get this air defense. I was not intending to hit this air defense, but I did. And I damaged the Inferno from there. So my king still has his ability, and my queen is just kind of going to do her thing. And looking at it now, so originally, when my thought process here was just going to be to funnel, you know, the sides out and attack from here. That was the initial plan. But when all was said and done, and I used my king ability, I'm like, well, I can kind of just clean up this area and attack from here. Or from here. So that's an example of changing my plan on the fly. I don't think attacking from this side in the current situation would have been good, because I would have gotten to the middle, my army would have split, and I have 2 scatter shots to deal with, and the eagle. So, wrapping around in that L-shaped pattern just seemed like the best plan, so that's what I went for. And the baby drag is a funneling troop. It is not a troop that should be used as like a main army type deal. I've seen people just like spam baby drags in, and the whole point of baby drags is when they're isolated, they have this rage ability. You want to utilize that ability. Mass baby drags is not a thing other than in the builder base. So that baby drag is going to clean that stuff up for me, and I can put in my main forces down here, which I do. I do have a balloon split to deal with the cannon. That doesn't really matter. It actually kind of benefits me. So the cool thing about this army is it's a dumb army, right? You can be terrible with your spell placement. It's not like Lavaloon where you have to place your haste spells in a certain way. You got to be very meticulous and specific. It's just put your dragons in, let them work. Rage and freeze is necessary. If you carry a second rage in the CC, you have a second rage to use as you see fit. If you have a lightning and a freeze, that lightning is going to be used at the beginning of the attack, and the second freeze can be used as you see fit. Either way, it's a very dumb army. All you need to worry about is hero abilities. You got to use your Warden at the right time. What you don't want to do is immediately kick off your Warden ability and then not have it for the Town Hall. So we're gonna kind of go through and look at that. So RC is in, going into a multi-inferno. First set of eagle shots hits. So I hit my Warden ability here. Now, the reason for that, and of course, obviously my balloons are taking a lot of damage. The eagle just shot, and I see that 2 of my dragon riders are heading. I can see their pathing. They're gonna hit this inferno, and they're gonna go to the town hall. So I want them to stay alive as long as possible, so they can get that town hall going. So they're raged up, and by the way, they do a lot of damage, especially against defenses. And that town hall goes down after 2 steps, and there's 3 of them there, I think. My RC is still alive with the electro boots. That second inferno, or the last inferno, goes down. The only threatening defenses left on this base, and mind you, I have all my dragons. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 balloons, the slammer still up, and an RC with an ability. The only threats are 2 expos and a scattershots, and obviously the enemy RC. But the enemy RC is just going to die to the dragons. The one enemy RC is not going to hold off 6 dragons with a rage gem. Not to mention, the electro boots are going to help damage these buildings and help those dragons push through. So, I talked about it live. I hit the rocket spear to get the scatter shot down, and it'll eventually get the expo as well. And with that, all 6 dragons are still alive to clean up. The RC is still alive, and it's a 3-star. So just, going through and trying to figure out why your attack worked and repeat that. And going in and figuring out why your attack failed and repeating that. It's a process, but it's necessary. So I think in the next video I'm going to go through the fundamentals of attacking, because there are steps. Obviously an attack like this is just a spam attack, right? You're just kind of spamming your troops in. And a hybrid is kind of the same way. Once you get your pathing, you just put your troops in, your main force. But I used up my hybrid army because I wanted to try this dragon rider, dragon flybrid attack. And it seems to work, so I'll probably use that in war. So very unorthodox. I have a Yeti in there to help funnel the queen in. I've noticed that because I'm not as meticulous as I used to be about queen pathing, I have to spend a lot more troops to funnel her. I don't know if it's my, the fact that I'm rusty, or, the fact AI changes. It could be either or both. So with a base like this, it's very long and thin. So there's a couple of ways to hit this base. Normally with hybrid, you want to clear out, a section. Like, clear out all this crap with a queen charge. So that you have a nice L shape for your hybrid to kind of just, path around the base, and go for that. My plan was to do just that. I see some people, I noticed in my last video, I pointed out someone went and because my base is kind of like this. Very long and thin, is they'll cut 2 sides off and then attack from a corner, one of the thin ends of the base. So this is the fat end of the base, here where the archer tower is. It's very wide. And this is the thin end. It's a corner. It, spreads out, sure, but still. So, make my L shape. Speed that up a little bit. Make sure to funnel her into the base. Super wall break. That goes down. Ice Golem walks in. Super Wall Break again, breaking into the air defense compartment. There's a single on her. Gotta freeze the single. Rage. Poison the Queen, freeze again. And she does have the ice arrow, so it'll kind of alleviate everything a little bit. The Minion Prince walking into the poison as well as the ice arrow. I'm going to take a scatter shot. I'm going to take an eagle. And the hybrid has a nice thin path to kind of just walk right through here, and then I can take my cleanup troops and put them out here to help them funnel into the base. And I could also take my slammer and do the same deal. But I already used it. So Warden, Heal Spell rather, Warden is probably going to be used around here, I think. Yeah. I shouldn't have dropped the heal. I probably should have saved it. That's okay, because I still have an RC that's going to deal with the Town Hall and the King, I think. I hope. Yeah. Healer's locked onto her. Okay. And I have my miners and all my cleanup troops. My Queen is still alive at full health. And it's just, this phase is completely destroyed. I'm noticing that, like, I'm not 3-starring a lot with hybrid. I'm getting very high percentage 2-stars, and I gotta figure out why that is, because it is still one of the best Town Hall 13 attack strategies. But, you know, and I have the fundamentals of it down, but I think there might be some nuances that I'm just missing. But anyway, that's going to be it for this one. I will probably post another one tomorrow, so I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.